same. Going to work, doing a bit of training, and not much.
Bit of training. You've been doing 1,000 push-ups, I see.
Oh, yeah. I took that on. My mate tagged me in, and it's hard to get people to want to do it, but
Yeah.
I'm stubborn.
Right?
It's when you add it up, it is. But when it's 25 a day, and like want to commit to things, everyone's committing to other stuff too, like favourite Aussie songs and other stuff like that.
And if you're not going Chester ground right, can you tell me that I'm not coaching you to do it, please?
I did. I just did that to Offerdale was whinging about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only guy that whinged it.
Yeah. How's your week been?
Yeah, it's going all right. I haven't been doing much, just working, eh?
Yeah.
We still got plenty of work on, so it's good. So getting out, getting it done, and trying to work out a little bit. Probably not much at all, eh?
Yeah, I saw you putting a session in last night.
Yeah.
It was good, yeah.
I was just picking up tins like this all night. It was good.
Nice looking.
Where was your session at?
Just at home, I had a fire out the backyard. Uzi came
Who
over.
Who's man?
Yeah, we chewed the fat for a few hours and drank a box of beers and...
Beef jerky business?
Yeah,
Flying?
yeah,
Or?
it's good, eh?
Yeah.
And I just flaked out drunk and woke up this morning like a bag of shit.
Really?
Yeah, I was fucked this morning, eh? I haven't been that hungover in a while.
No chemicals or just straight?
Nah, just grog, eh? And Uzi brought a box over. I already had 12 beers there. And I was drinking middies, and Uzi brought a box of heavies over. So by the time I got 10 heavies in my guts, I was fucked.
Yeah.
I
can see how the night ended up, how it did then.
Oh,
with all that booze.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Rubbish.
I've just been, so Christy's in that time of the cycle again, so I've just been trying to pump him, but...
Can we be a bit too brutally honest on this show sometimes? We can keep things from each other. It's okay.
No, well, so what happens is she tells me what time of month it is, so we try and have another kid, right? And when I'm like teenager, I'm like, oh, like having sex once a day all the time sounds like an awesome idea. And now that I'm 32, I'm battling through it, man. I'm like, after like the second or third day of once a day, I'm like, I don't think I can hold this stamina, man.
And you're a fit unit, Freeze. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, it's like, remember when we were young, you used to jack off like 8-9 times a day.
So those the multivitamins that you those multivitamins you like to take, they're not going to affect like your swimmers downtown.
No, they should be fine.
Oh, good.
Well, I don't know. Well, this is
they might even make them like just roided up. You have like a Michael Phelps down there ready to go.
Yeah, you could be,
well, it's not working so far. This is probably So
you could end up with triplets. You're going that well.
Yeah. Good. No, I need that lengthening surgery they're talking about. Just get them up in there.
That's good. So your missus is okay with you sharing this information?
Well, she doesn't listen to this shit. So
I'm surprised if anyone listens to it.
Just her dad. Her dad listens to it.
So your father-in-law now is up to date with his future expansion of the grandkids.
Yeah, introduce our guest. All right.
Okay. All right. Well, this is probably the biggest guest we've ever had. We've had other internationals on the show, but tonight we have Julia Robinson of, well, what side haven't you made? Queensland, Australia, Broncos. That's about it. Nines, Australian Nines too.
I actually haven't made Queensland yet.
You haven't made that Queensland side. So Queensland, you're playing for Australia and not made Queensland. Yeah, that's strange.
Yeah, no, I was quite fortunate to make the Australian side before the Queensland, but I was hoping to make the Queensland side last year, but fortunately I broke my leg. But
unlucky
this year, but we'll see how we go with this whole coronavirus.
But that was the only reason, because of injury?
I was hoping to make the Queensland side, but obviously
we'll set it at yes for now, just because of injury.
And more importantly, the boys will get upset if I don't mention it. I've also playing club football for West Brisbane Panthers.
Yes.
Out of the great West Mitchelton club.
Yes, it's definitely a good club. Love the girls. Love everyone in the club.
How do you go from coming from a West season where you play obviously a season with those girls and then you have to go into and join back up with the Brisbane girls and have another sort of, I know it's a shorter season, but another sort of season with another grand final at the end of it, sort of playing 2 seasons in 1 year. How does that work? How do you feel about that?
Obviously it's not too bad. Like with the body's fine. Like obviously you get a little bit sore, but it's good. With the girls, like the different kind of girls, obviously like the West girls and Brisbane girls are very different, but I don't know, it has like a different spirit in each team.
Yeah,
and,
true.
Definitely the West girls have a killer spirit.
Yeah.
Love it.
A loose bunch of girls,
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I even like when we do a pose, like a couple of times we've done a pose against you guys, and for the girls I find it's a different when you say it's like we just get our bodies in front of each other. And for the girls, it's hard to like go, oh, it's 100% or it's nothing,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah, because I remember one time like I went from dummy and kind of relaxed right before the line, and I think you and the centre hit me.
Yeah, no, that was me, definitely. I
Yeah,
remember that.
yeah. And I was like, oh, I thought we were fucking just kind of chilling, but you girls are just like,
Nah.
which is good mentality for sure.
No, it's good. I love playing against the boys. Like, I feel like the girls like definitely get like a bit more feisty because I know bit of a competition between like the boys and girls. I feel like if one guy goes a little bit harder than the girl, then the girls are just like, okay, it's time to go get them.
Yeah.
But no, it's good.
That's all right. Especially when you got, you girls obviously had a few internationals in like Heather and yourself and that playing there. It's good for, especially for some of the younger boys as well, even just to come out and have a run around. And it's good for the club, good for both teams, I guess. Get the ball in your hands and have someone in front of you instead of just throwing your shape at nothing. So
It's so good. Yeah,
it's good. There's nothing beats in a post session. Like that,
yeah, it's like
especially
when we're doing it against, you always want to be doing it against the high levels of like
Yeah.
players, especially with just a post.
It's why we love it when we go against Trigger's sides, like, and Trigger's sitting there at the back giving you his 2 cents as well, and you're your own coaches. It just brings another coaching aspect also with testing yourself against a better side or a side that it's got a lot of talent in it. So.
Have you ever really spoke to him deep about coaching and structural stuff?
Trigger, no.
He sent me and Clino some emails on stuff that he got from Bellamy, and man, it's deep. It's some deep stuff and very structured, and he picks out little things. You can see why he's been so successful. He'd be a great coach to learn stuff off.
Yeah.
And just with the ladies, you can see how much women's football's come along, because once you would never have done the pose against the women's team. It would have been a waste of time. But now they know all the same shape stuff the men do. They run the same shape plays. They do the same thing. Everyone knows how to play. Once, like with women's footy, there used to be some girls weren't very experienced playing football. Now everyone knows how to play like, and they're in the top grade of the women's comp and won a premiership and were in a grand final. You know,
we sort of spoke about that briefly before you got here, right? About how these days girls playing at that level, like playing for WBP or playing for the Broncos, whatever, they're coming through and they've had those years of experience, like playing junior footy. Whereas Julia was saying she didn't start playing footy until 2018, so she didn't have that experience. They're back in just like general ball skills and like a footy IQ sort of thing. So all the girls coming through these days that have played maybe even 5-6 seasons would have been around the team, got that ball skills down pat sort of.
So, Julie, your first game was when you were 20 or 19?
I would have been 20.
20.
Yeah.
And how did you know what position you were going to go into?
yeah, that'd be a big one.
Well, obviously, for my defence team, my coach just said, like, oh, you got some speed, you can go on the wing. And obviously didn't know how to play too well. So obviously I didn't have the ball skill to like go in half and like be able to peel 20 metres.
Yeah.
And same with the fullback. So put me on the wing to test it out, and it's just been from there, like just stuck in the wing, I guess.
Yeah.
Hit the ground running and hold on to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be the hardest part. Like, pick a position. Because if you had like Oztag or touch background, you can say, oh, I'll play link. All right, so you're probably going to be used to playing centre. You just roll in, you're going, are you fast? And you go, oh, a bit. Okay, go out in the wing.
Yeah.
They're going to kick to you a lot.
Yeah.
40-20s, be careful of them. Learn how to read overlaps. Things
But
like
you
that.
were saying you had no style of footy background at all.
No.
Yeah.
Nope. not at
Just the
all.
netball.
Yeah, obviously, I guess the wing was good for me, so I can like learn the game from like the edge, see what's coming and everything, and like I don't know, I just like still love the wing, and like hopefully eventually, like I want to be a fullback, but
Yeah.
give me a few years,
Yeah.
still learning. But
That's okay. At least you get like you would have had from a like early in your career, like high level coaching and stuff as well, like going into the Bronx system pretty much straight away.
Who is the women's coach? Is it the Kiwi?
Kelvin.
Yeah, the Kiwi coach.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that fella. Yeah.
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 Obviously, the first year we had
And is he the Tweed women's coach too, or was?
he was.
Yep.
Yeah, like first year we had Paul, Princey, Mick Hancock, and Fletcher. And last year we had Kelvin.
Simon Mannering.
Yeah,
and,
Simon.
Mannering and
Yeah,
Parker.
Corey Parker as
Yeah.
well. He was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On board. He definitely like helped the girls out a lot. he's just like, I don't know, just about like, obviously like me not being a big footy person growing up and like getting to know all these big names, they're actually just, as you said, they're just normal people,
Yeah.
like, and they just like want to help. And
Because
yeah.
in some instances, do you see their names and you hear they're a big deal, then you kind of check their background and be like, holy shit, these guys were big deals?
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah, literally.
Ah,
Like,
shit.
I wouldn't, Simon, do you know anything about him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until,
Yeah,
like,
Mannering close to the greatest warrior to ever play
Yeah.
for.
Probably the greatest
Yeah.
Kiwi
Yeah.
of all time. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even like Corey Parker, did you have an idea? Or
I obviously heard of him,
Yeah.
but I was just like, oh, I didn't really, like,
He was a
I don't know,
freak.
yeah.
Oh, I love him, mate. He's one of my favourites.
I don't know,
He's a
never watched the
good-looking bloke
game.
too.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, actually, the only game I watched him playing was 2015 against the final against Cowboys.
Oh, his
Yeah.
last game ever.
Yeah, the last game. So yeah.
Ah,
Too soon, eh? Too
yeah,
soon.
I know. I know.
And go home and
Yeah.
cry myself to sleep after that.
How's Fernie Grove though? Pumping out fucking NRL players. So
I said this years
Hodges,
Jarrell.
yeah, Gerald,
Yep.
Julia,
Both Berrigans,
both Berrigans,
David Miles.
yeah, Milesy.
There's a few,
That's
man.
right.
That's a few boys
Yeah.
like that.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have your jersey up there or anything?
I've got a photo of myself.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wish. Okay, I'm glad you've told me that because one of my mates, David Miles, played 120 NRL games, yet they haven't put his photo up there. So often when he gives me shit about things, I say, at least more people in this neighbourhood know me than you dope.
No.
We get you a face on the side of bus stops and stuff, righty?
Yeah, that's true. Last bloke to score a try on a Fernie Grove Bears grand final in a premiership side, actually, at the Bears. Yeah, and we've won. They've won nothing since then.
You're a cult
Unlucky.
hero, right, man?
Yeah,
And so, Julia, last year you guys won the comp, the West for Wests.
Yep.
Yeah. I saw you that the night of the win, but how many days do you guys keep? Do you do the Mad Monday and
So
all
we
that?
did do the Mad Monday as well. It was good. We just started at Greenie's house, just had a few beers and
Yeah.
went out. But I don't know. It was a really quiet Mad Monday, to be honest. But I think everyone was still recovering from the night before.
Oh.
we saw you out. Remember the year before, Dano, and we went all over the valley and we ended up at the Normanby
Yeah.
and the girls were on theirs.
Yeah.
And Annie was absolute shit faced. I remember
and he
seeing.
goes hard.
Yeah, she was ripping and a tearing. Yeah, ripping
I don't know.
and a tearing.
If we won a premiership, fuck, I would have to like get a week off work.
Yeah.
Just like I'd probably quit my job.
How's your
Just-
love life going this week?
Oh mate, seemed like it was going all right last
Wait,
night.
he's had a
Good.
couple of girlfriends
Yeah.
recently,
Oh
so
my god.
Yeah.
same one.
You were on a double date last night. If you're putting these videos up, don't film the ladies, all right? You need to get you need to get permission for that. We'll have a go at Uzi's head. Like with that
Yeah,
peroxide. He wasn't bringing the ladies in. We
No.
knew he was just running the short ball of you. We worked that out real quick watching that.
Oh my god. You guys ever gonna stop saying that? Like every
But
week?
you've still been seeing that same girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
The same one.
And what's
girl.
her
I'm
name?
not like the 43 you think.
Shout
I've
her
got.
out, bro. Shout her out.
Nah.
Yeah, that's nice.
Nah, get
Let her
fucked.
know that she's your one and only. That you're not playing.
Oh my
Like,
god. No, because you two creeps will go and stalk her and fucking shame me something.
There's a big chance.
Mate,
that
I'm
will
too busy
happen.
trying to have sex once a day. All right?
Christian's
Yeah, what
trying to-
about your love life? Leave mine out of it. You got your own
Christian's
problems.
All
trying
right,
to-
starts
Yes.
with Mish, then we usually go around the corner to Doggy.
I'm glad your missus doesn't listen to our show.
So you probably hear through the floor suddenly going, fuck that guy.
So, Julia, with all your teams with this COVID stuff, from the top level, from like Oz, Queensland, how have they been managing your training schedules?
For Jillaroos, we have been like in contact like nearly every day. We got a group chat. We check in, make sure everyone's doing well over this whole COVID-19. Our SNC is giving us programs to do. We got conditioning. Obviously, weight's a little bit harder because he doesn't know what gym equipment we have, but he just tells us to like, do what we can and everything. With Queensland, we've been doing some Zoom sessions together, some like little circuits. So we've still been like in contact as well. Broncos, Kelvin, he's been like sending some videos of some ball skills in our group chat as well. So no, it's been really good. Like everyone's really supportive over this whole, I guess, like crisis and everything. So no, it's been good. Like everyone's been keeping in
So
contact.
at least they're giving you, like, at least they're staying in contact.
Yeah.
And, like, making sure, you feel like you're still a part of the team
Yep.
and it's still a
Yeah.
team environment. It's
Which is
not
good.
like everyone go and do your own thing. We'll see you in 6 weeks. Or see you
Yeah.
in 10 weeks, or
Yeah.
however long it's going to be. They've sort of kept you in the loop
Yeah,
and
nah,
kept
that's good.
everyone in. It's just be hard, obviously, as you're saying, with the weight situation. Don't know what everyone's got access to. So programming for that, you'd have to try and. I know you're the program king. Would you reckon you'd have to
you
just
could do
try
that
and?
for free.
Yeah, well, you just got to offer that. You got to tell them that, and they're probably saying to you, Julia, like if you got this, not if it's body weight,
Yeah.
do this. If it's and do you have a bit of a setup at home or nah?
Yeah, I do. Like I say, my sister, she has a squat rack, which
Yeah.
is handy.
Oh,
Had a few
excellent.
barbells and everything, kettlebells.
Yeah,
Nice.
So, yeah,
Much
it's
like
pretty
what
good,
Freddie's
yeah.
got here.
I'm pretty lucky.
yeah.
Where do you see like who's your like? You're coming
Yeah,
out. You're
spit
coming
that
out
one.
for the Bronx,
Yeah.
and say you verse like, who are you least happy to see come up against you? Like, who's the person that out of the wingers you face? Like, obviously, all the outside backs in the women's game are
Yeah. Nah.
incredible these days.
I remember
Like-
Burley had a big, tall, Indigenous girl in the centres who looked like she could wreak havoc whenever she wanted to. Like,
Does that mean like people like that are just like I-
she was good.
like I see Rikia Horn. She plays for the Dragons, and
Dragons.
she's a beast. Like you watch her doing like fireman's carries and stuff like that. She's
Yeah.
monstering any weight I could even think about lifting. I'm like, fuck,
no.
I would not want to try and tackle her.
Yeah, definitely. Like obviously, as you said, the outside backs, is hard.
Yeah.
Obviously you have Jess Surges, Isabella Kelly, T, like so Shaq and everything. So
Yeah,
I guess anyone is just like everyone plays different.
yeah.
So obviously,
It's got to be up for the challenge
up
each
for the
week.
challenge.
Yeah, right.
so
Oh, that's the go.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than getting whacked by a midget.
no.
I used to get whacked by midgets all the time. Like, big blokes I could use my feet on, but midgets are just choppy in the spot and it hurt.
What was
more.
your step? What was
I'm
your
telling
was
you,
it
big
your
foot.
right foot or left?
Big left.
Big left.
Always get it inside shoulders.
Yeah.
Pull out the palm.
Okay.
Like, I don't do nothing off the right.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
you never run. You can't, no future. I was once told this, no future in running straight.
Yeah.
You have to pick your spot because you're just going to get put to sleep, like you're saying. Seeing some of those Kiwi girls in the women's, the way they shot front on after usually bashing their,
I
like
felt it.
playing against their brothers and that, and you're just going, oh, what's that chick, the one who calls it Honey Bill? She calls herself Honey Bill.
Honey.
Yeah, man. Honey Bill.
Makes
well,
sense, you know.
Well, she calls herself Honey Bill Williams, so you're a
Uh-huh.
fair way
Oh,
of being
no.
him. But man, she whacks, and because people you run straight on, you're up shit creek.
Yeah.
It's gonna whack.
Yeah. See, I've got no footwork or speed. I just labour it up and get bashed every time. It's fuck.
Have you heard
Nightmares.
anything from the Players Association about with everything? Has Clint Newton and Freddie are good mates? 2013 Tomahawk boys. So if you need him to contact Nudo, he can do it.
Yeah. But have you heard anything more about
the money
anything that's going on?
situation and that, and from your end?
Not really. Like obviously with the Jillaroos, we've been in contact with like RLPA.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've been trying to give as much information they can to us girls and everything. Like what I was talking about, like the top 20 contract. And like obviously like a few of us girls that have made the top 20,
Yeah.
Excellent.
working out like if we get paid the extra half or how that's going to happen.
So with the top 20, they're saying, so top 20 Jillaroos,
Yeah.
so there's 20 of yous that they've said that you guys are kind of looked after a bit more
Yeah.
with that style of contract.
Similar
Yeah.
to the cricket situation, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So at the moment, Julie, you're sitting in that top 20
Yeah.
for the... Oh, that's pretty
That's
good.
pretty
Yeah.
good.
You'd like to think you'd be making that next Queensland side then.
I hope
Yeah.
so, yes.
Have you heard anything about vaccinations? I saw something on a football program yesterday, and they were talking about a blanket vaccination rule. If you haven't had the jab, like no jab, no play sort of thing.
Yeah, and you have to have that up.
yeah.
too,
You have
that's
to have the
one
COVID.
thing.
Haven't you? Have you heard
Yeah.
anything about any of that
No,
stuff?
haven't heard anything about that.
I saw it yesterday. I was like, some of these anti-vaxxers are going to be pissed. It's either like you get the jab or you don't play. I was like,
Well, with the
if
money,
you're scared of needles, bro.
it was Bryce Cartwright from the Titans, him and his missus, and Cartwright's on what, about 700
He's
G.
on too much. Is what
Yeah,
he's
too
on.
much money. So I don't think he's going to be turning down. His missus was going on there saying they don't vaccinate their child and all this sort of thing, which is your own choice.
Yeah.
But I think I think if I was Bryce Cartwright, I'd be telling him to jab me first, so he guarantees you're getting that money. Because I've seen his form,
Yeah.
or else he'll be having a lot of conversations with Ben Wolf at the Tweed.
I was going to say, I'm surprised he's not playing for Tweed already. He's fuck me dead. He was so good at the Panthers, and he played some great footy. And as soon as he went to the Titans, fuck me, what happened to him? But he turned into a biggest turnstile. He hasn't made a tackle in 3 years.
Yeah.
They're still paying him $750 or something.
The scrutiny of it too, like.
But the Titans are renowned for that, paying people. They pay Shannon Boyd $800,000.
Yeah,
Fuck
who
me
was good
dead.
before he went there.
Yeah, and now he's one of the bigger potatoes running around the NRL.
So will you have two sides or one with the women's team at West, you reckon, this year?
Well, obviously this year was the first year for the Q Cup for us girls.
Yeah, so disappointing that they've had to trim it.
Definitely. I think they're looking at trying to make
Southeast
two-
Queensland version?
um
That's what they're doing in the men's.
really?
Yeah, they're just doing like the pocket down here, so there's
Okay.
no flying, but it's just the teams that can.
From Sunny Coast to Tweed,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
which would be
Okay.
Yeah,
that'd
which
be
would be
majority
sweet
of your
for you girls
Yeah.
yeah,
as well.
that's majority of your
Awesome.
comp. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that could resume things. That's what's happening
Yeah.
because there was certain there was a club that weren't real keen on the Q Cup blokes coming back down to play BRL. So this was pushed
Yeah.
doing this model.
It's got to be the best way, because if you had all those cup blokes coming back down, and then you get like each comp obviously filters down, you're gonna have a lot of blokes, like especially blokes who are just playing for leisure, like your pub footy players playing threes or whatever on a weekend, and then you come in and you got some blokes like would be filtering all the way down from Prem grade side, or some of the better Div 1 players are getting pushed down to play threes, or a club that only has the threes and getting pushed players from Prems, and then you send a Prems bloke out to play
Yeah, there's a
pub
balance.
footy.
They'd have to rebalance the whole competition, and have more divs because you couldn't do it for
Yeah.
those things. And I don't think the BRL like to do a lot because it's hard to get. It's hard enough to get them on the phone,
Yeah.
let alone get them to help you out in some capacity.
Yeah. Julia, with you saying before, I thought it was funny how you said you thought with the young kids coming through and you're 22 years old, yeah? So with you being 22 and having a fair bit of time left, what do you see? Do you see yourself playing out till you're like early 30s, or do you want to try to find other avenues, like we're talking about sevens or something forward, or would you leave, like, won't touch on union?
I wouldn't go to union, I reckon, but hopefully stay in league as long as possible. Like obviously you see the girls like Steph Hancock playing at 36 years old, so
Yeah.
I still got like over 10 years to play, which
Yeah.
is good. But no, definitely.
That's
hopefully.
probably a bonus of starting later. Your body hasn't been bashed around playing for so long
Yeah.
that you can play for longer now. That
Yeah.
and you've obviously got better as you get older because you master the skills and your game
Yeah.
knowledge is so much better as you get older. Like it's like Freddie.
Just- Finding that longevity is just it's going to be the hard part, and it's a hard part for anyone. It's like people like Cameron Smith or like Heather Ballinger's retired at 36, or and
That's
Smithy's
unbelievable.
still going. Paul Gallen played in the middle for 20 seasons. It's like you're just trying to find that happy medium where you can look after your body, keep playing footy, limit your training or whatever you have to do to keep yourself in the park for as long as possible.
Yeah.
See how long you can get out of yourself. Like I don't know about you guys, my body feels like shit now. And I'm 22. I'm ready.
You were on a bender last night with Uzi and two mysterious
Yeah,
women.
but every time we come off the field, I feel like, nah, there's no way I can
Your
play
hips
again
are probably
next
sore every weekend, bro.
week. You're a fucking idiot.
You'll have less time to do that when we start playing footy, hopefully.
Yeah, because Ivsy's going to have us doing burpees for fucking 4
Yeah.
days. I reckon.
That's a thing though too. You don't.
We did.
We want to go back in from a coaching staff point of view. Want to go back in and sort of pick up where we left off, or as close to. But we're going to have to incorporate certain fitness components because there are going to be some custard asses who have done nothing.
Pre-season hashtag 2.
Yeah, but you can't start again from the beginning. We've got to go in with all the structural stuff and start. Depends how long a pre-season we get. If you get a month,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
You're getting a flogging the whole time.
You're going to have to balance out between the two for the first couple of weeks anyway, because a lot of blokes haven't done a heap of running.
Yeah.
or any, you know.
Yeah.
Do you girls get gym time, like even at West's?
No. Or we went to like a gym maybe twice,
Yeah.
and it was just a one along like kind of near Pickering Street.
Yeah, that's closed down now.
That's closed down now.
Yeah, that's
It
gone.
didn't
Yeah,
really have
sold
much
it.
in it.
Yeah.
I guess like we don't really have like a program to.
Yeah.
I think the hardest part this year we don't have Ben, an actual proper S&C.
Yeah.
Like Steve.
Benny-
Steve was
Benny
running air
Matts.
conditioning.
Yeah, so Benny Matts
Yeah.
isn't there. Is he's back at Redcliffe or something, Benny?
Yeah. The
Yeah.
Dolphins.
Yeah, so.
So who was running it?
Steve, my partner.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
was he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that the guy you're in the Instas with?
Yeah.
He's a specimen. Wow, that guy, holy
Yeah.
meat cannon.
Yeah.
One
I was
good-looking
telling
unit.
Julie before
Holy
he like
meat
came
cannon.
in the gym for like before we shut down. We was only there for a couple months, and he'd be like, oh, like Christian, what do you think about this? And I'm like, oh, if you just tweak it a bit there, and he'd be like, oh, like this, and I'm like, yeah, exactly right. So yeah, he's just picking things up like
Yeah,
real
nice.
quick.
Oh, nice. And does he play any sports himself?
No.
Doesn't need
He-
to, just looks good. Yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough.
No, he's really big in his like motorbikes and everything. He goes to track days and everything. But
Oh,
he used to
sweet.
do boxing. Played
Nice.
a bit
Yeah.
of rugby. when
And
he
you
was
met
younger.
him in the army?
Yeah.
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 How'd that go down?
Yeah, good. Like met him last year.
Yeah. I
we-
see our picture. He's just doing pull-ups, shirt off.
Yeah.
It doesn't need a shirt when you look that good, eh?
No, we actually like work together in the same like troop, like same job role, which is like in the army. You usually can't date someone that you work with.
Yeah.
But we're quite lucky. Like, well, he's not my secco. Like, he's not like my boss or anything like that. And well, our rank, like they like us, so like, they're pretty chilled about us. Like,
Oh,
obviously, if
sweet.
we keep professional,
Yeah.
they're fine with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's good.
Yeah. Sweet.
And have you played rep footy in the army as well, like at a World Cup not long ago, didn't they?
No,
Probably-
so I missed out like with the defence like World Cup.
Yep.
Well, that was in 2017 with the Aussies World Cup as well. But for defence, they still do like tours at the end of the year. But every time they do tours, I'm part of the Jillaroo's squad.
Yeah,
So I missed out.
you've taken the right trade off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're in that top 20, they wouldn't appreciate you brushing it to go on another tour.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But obviously,
do-
defence still likes me to try and like support them because
Yeah.
they obviously give me time off for footy. So I
Mm.
have to try and like kind of give back to
Yeah,
them.
you feel obliged to reciprocate the favour in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where Christian works at the school we can't name, they like him to support him too. They make him mow the fields
Yeah.
because they paid him for 2 weeks when he went away with the USA Hawks, who pay you about
This is a true story, actually. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
where he had to find his own money to go
Yeah,
and
so-
represent the nation.
When we had to try to qualify against the Cookies who beat us and that we're not in the next World Cup.
Oh,
Yeah, so the Cookies beat us, and I was working. I'm a tea trade at Mount Maria, and I was like, okay, I need a couple of weeks off because the year before I took time with no pay because of the World Cup.
Yeah.
Or was that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they let me with that. And they're like, oh, we can't give you leave with no pay again because you can't do it like in 2 consecutive years because
Oh,
you haven't
okay.
been here for more than 3
Yeah.
years. And they're like, but we can give you 2 weeks no pay and then you mow the fields for 2 weeks. I was like, done.
Oh,
How good's
So I'm
that?
fucking going
That's
over trying to
unreal.
qualify for a World Cup team. Then I know I got to come back and mow lawns for 2 weeks if I can do it. Yeah.
He
It's
did
just-
tell me the letdown. Yeah,
How many side hustles do you have?
you
know?
do have a few.
Like,
You're still
you're just
working
mowing
for.
grass.
You're still working
fencing
for
to
old,
a real
what do you
player.
call pizza capers or someone like that on the side.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, your drug habit's keeping me alive at the moment, isn't it? Every Saturday night, I need some more coke. I'm like, all right, sweet.
Talk
Fucking
to your boy Walshy, bro. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's good that everyone's helping each other out in some way. Just
Yeah.
Well, it's
times
small
of need.
business, bro. I'm trying to
Oh.
keep you afloat. You're having another kid. I was trying to pay for its college.
I didn't know that,
Trying to, bro. Trying to.
yeah. What's that say? So the next member of the Freed family, hopefully, is intellectual type. What's your daughter like?
Oh, she's all right, yeah.
Oh,
Well,
good.
the other day, I tell you the story the other day. So, Christie's gets up me because I listen to, I love Eminem,
Yeah.
and I listen to a lot of rap while I'm driving around with her. And she's like, "You got to stop listening to
Okay.
Eminem while we're driving around." I'm like, "Look, she does like the beats. She's not taking in the lyrics." And Lakin's in the tub while we're saying this, and Christy's like, "I do think she's taking in lyrics." And while she's saying this, no bullshit, Lakin goes, "I got bitches, I got hoes, I got real designer clothes. No, we ain't fucking with that." And we were just like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Okay, I'll stop listening to Eminem."
Right.
Yeah,
Okay. okay. I'm sure that'll go down well at the old preschool, like cracking out the tunes.
Oh, man.
Yeah, man.
Imagine if she did do that at preschool. The teacher would be like, what the fuck?
She
What
know-
household
she
you
know-
coming from?
I like her because she's nearly 4, and I'm like, you understand this is like when we listen to music, we listen to it, we can sing to it, but no others. And I was like, and I'm like, and the N word, you notice Daddy never says it. We never say that.
Oh,
yeah.
dead, yes. Yeah, that one.
Oh.
Zara, my daughter's 7, and she loves the West song. And she loves the version with and more piss. So she always sings that. So like I always say, no, it's more wind. Say more wind.
Yeah.
I said, if you're gonna tell your friends, tell that, because the teacher hears you saying this, we're all gonna get into trouble. And she was working out a thing. She wanted me to come for show and tell her about and tell their class about people in our team.
That's the best show and tell I've ever heard.
Oh
If you
my
came to
God,
my
I
school, right, man, I'd get your autograph on like a Joe Scully poster. And
God,
the best thing ever.
Do you know who Joe Scully is, Julia, from Neighbours?
No.
He's right man's
This all
doppelganger.
started at the Ferny Grove a long time
Actually,
ago.
yes, I do.
Some-
He's a doppelganger.
Yeah. Some stinky pommy bloke thought this, all right, many years ago. Like a real true Neighbours fan. So that's one thing. I don't even know where that bloke is. I don't think he's showered since that day 15 years ago. So yeah, that's
At
how
least
this all
it's stuck,
started.
you know. At least you got a sweet nickname.
Yeah.
Freddie's got Frodo.
What does Clint Newton call you? Freed balls.
No, 3 nuts.
3 nuts.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty explanatory. Well, a guy with 3 nuts should be able to, father another child or 2, mate. Don't
3
worry.
nuts was because we were playing Kings. Is it Kings of the with the cards or whatever? Yeah.
Well,
Oh, King's Cup.
Yeah,
King's Cup, yeah. So we're
that's
playing
right.
that shit. I hardly ever played it before, but this is in 2013. We're playing that, and what's the card that gives you absolutely authority over anything?
Oh.
So like,
You got Rule Master.
yeah, Rule Master.
Yeah.
So my mate Offerdale, who's the captain of the USA side, Offerdale gets Rule Master, and me and him are good mates. He fucking hates me. So he goes, all right, sweet, Rule Master. He gets it straight away, and he goes, Freedy, up on the table doing naked squats right now. And we've been on a bender for like 2-3 days. My penis is pretty much inside my body. So I get up on the table, take my pants down, I'm doing naked squats, and Clint Newton goes, Freedy, where's your penis? All you've got is 3 testicles. And that's how I got that nickname. Yeah.
And the guy who made up the nickname is the head of the Rugby League Players Association and the guy negotiating for
He's
everyone's money.
going in the bat for everyone.
So if you get an email from a Clint Newton Rugby League Players Association president, remember the story about 3 nuts.
Newton, I got him to sign my shirt at the end of the tour, and he wrote Billy Slater who ? And then goes, keep living the dream, and that was it. And I was like, see you, Clint. And he goes, see you, 3 nuts. I was like, oh my god, go fuck yourself. But yeah, Julia, one thing I was thinking about with changing from like your sport was such a big change. Did you then get into strength and conditioning, like going into rugby league, like, or were you always like pretty dedicated with your lifting and?
No, I've always been like big into going to the gym and everything. Like obviously, like when I was playing netball, I was like at like a high level, so we had like S&Cs, so we had like our strength programs we were doing as well. So now I was pretty much big into gym, and obviously with the army, we had like I guess like lessons of like strength as well. So we were always like doing PT sessions every morning. So yeah, no, it's always been a big factor in my life.
What made you decide to play footy? Was there anyone? Normally, like when you start a bit later, it's a mate's gone, oh, you come down and try this.
Literally, that's pretty much what happened. Like for the army, like they needed girls to play for, like my unit's team, and yeah, I just decided to play. And then from that, I guess one of my army coaches knew some people. Like, well, obviously a few of the Broncos coaches said to come, and also Jamie, Feeney, and Bucko to come look at me at one of our training sessions, and that's how they got my name. And then when we got put into the national competition in 2018, that's where I got scouted out for Broncos.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Bit of a whirlwind ride.
Yeah.
Having fast.
Did you notice you were good under the high ball straight away, or like with your hands?
Like I guess growing up, I was always like, and I used to always go down the footy, like this is footy field, and just like kick the ball around. Like growing up as a kid with my like stepdad, like with the AFL background, like he loved the AFL, so I used to always go down the footy field, and kick the ball, catch it, and everything. I guess like netball helped in a way, but I don't know. Like obviously, wasn't as confident when I first started playing to what I'm now. Obviously, just practice, but just hope for the best to catch it.
Yeah. Don't worry, Freddie used to be a fullback.
Yeah.
Yeah. All fullbacks do, man.
We've all had our nightmares on the eyeballs. Don't worry about that.
Especially now too, like even in the women's game, with all those skillful players in the halves, they can throw up Tories and bombs and that, and
some good place
test
kickers.
you out a lot more.
Definitely.
Some really good place kickers in the women's game.
Yeah. Well, the girls' game you're watching freaking develop like in front of your eyes nearly week to week. How good it's gone from like in the last 5 years. It's just at the start. I kind of, when people ask me, especially some boys overseas, they're like, "What's the girls' game over there?" And I kind of equivalent it to around the mid-90s NRL. That's the style of footy I feel like the girls are playing at the moment, where it's not all block shapes. It's like getting it out wide, and then they might dump one under. It's finding an opening room. It's kind of like that mid-90s men's NRL at the moment.
People do say like we play like old-fashioned football.
Yeah, because there's a obviously structure there, but it's also a bit more chaotic. The people, obviously forwards are just hard and trucking up, and then the outside backs are all fast and get heap of agility, and it's once they get the ball to the edge, they do a lot of drop unders, a lot of use of the footy on the edge. It's good to watch. With
those, and with a lot of Islander girls and Indigenous girls, they want to play like that, so it makes it more enjoyable to watch. So it'd be more enjoyable to play because everyone's touching the football a bit more, and you can attack from anywhere within reason. Yeah, which would be good if we did more of that. But that'd be good.
We can't attack full stop. We spend the whole time defending our line.
Yeah, but we've got some real good block shapes.
Yeah, loves a block shape.
Yeah, but I love a block shape.
Because I was introduced to it more because last year I was coaching it was like the year 12 Met North women's side. It was like the first time the Met North had it, like in year 12. And I hadn't watched too much of the girls play, especially the Broncos and stuff. And then I was coaching these girls. And then when we went to the tournament, the only team that beat us was Med East because obviously they're full of Marsden and...
Gerald Logan area.
Yeah, and they've got strong...
But I was like, holy fucking shit, these year 12 is just putting it on each other. And that's why I was like, oh, fuck, these girls will love it. And I don't know if you know, like Sydney Taylor or something. Like she was a halfback, but you see a lot of them... And they love the league, but then they're getting dragged towards that sevens. And then I'm like, oh, no, you're a league half. I go, you're not a sevens half. You're not just that link, you know. You look up the play and that kind of thing. But after that tournament that I watched, I was like, yeah, these girls are loving this league stuff. It's just going to develop huge. I didn't understand that until I went and saw it. Yeah, and coached it at the time, but I didn't kind of.
How many teams were at the state championship you coached at?
Yeah, so they had pools. So
there's quite a few.
I think it was like ended up being about 12 teams in that state tournament.
That's a fair effort, considering grade 12. Senior girls at school and stuff.
And we're waiting for New South Wales to get their shit together, and then the year 12ers can have a Queensland versus New South Wales, but because they don't have enough teams in their tournament, that they can't make it. They can't choose a state regulated side.
Seems almost surreal that New South Wales would be the ones behind the eight ball, considering they have a vastly larger population, and Sydney being obviously pretty much centre of rugby league. Obviously, the game's loved up here, and everyone in Queensland loves it and gets around it. But for down there, being that higher population, and obviously rugby league played based mainly out of Sydney, you'd think they would have had at least fucking a few more steps had been taken to get them there.
But must be a lot of girls playing rugby sevens and things like that. Yeah, a lot of private schools in Sydney because there's such like Western Sydney, big Polynesian population. A lot of some real talented girls, like saying, you would think there'd be a lot more women's teams. And then you see, in their club competition, they've got a bigger club comp. Yeah. Down there, I don't know how that works, but they do have a lot of women's club team. Like Dean Witters coaches the South women's team.
Really?
Cronulla wanted to go into the national team, but
Yeah.
they got the punt because they didn't want to dilute the pool and
There
put
was
in
two
too
or
many
three.
clubs.
There was 2 or 3 clubs that were putting in bids to join the WNRL.
Yeah, they were filthy because they had sponsors all teed up and then didn't get in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so fair enough. But it
Do you
is
reckon-
good to see how good.
Surely pretty soon, but the WNRL has to expand.
That 4 weeks must be hard to prepare for because Roosters made the GF a couple of years ago and they'd won one game and 4 and against got them
Yeah.
in.
Yeah. Well, when you saying they were going to do it was two rounds this year instead of one.
Yeah.
That was the plan.
That was the plan for this year. Like, hopefully make it an 8
Oh, that'd
week
be
comp.
good, yeah.
instead
Yeah,
of
so
4
you
weeks.
best everyone
And that's
twice.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Like 8 weeks is enough for a short comp. But with you're only playing 3 games and you got to hope. Not that like with your Broncos side, you were good defenders and that, and you were, a fair bit ahead. Like I thought in that last grand final that you were just coasting and who'd you beat St George?
Yeah.
They never looked like it. I didn't think they really
No.
threatened you. I thought you were in control the whole time and you slowly kicked on.
Mm.
Yeah, definitely.
Having so much success too, you sort of found yourself lucky. Obviously, at West having immediate success almost, and same as the Bronx going back to back. Is it like a daunting? Is it something scary for you that you might never see like a grand final again, or do you ever think about that, or are you more focused on just making sure you get the job done?
Yeah, well, obviously in the NRL 9, so we made the grand final against Dragons and we lost that grand final. So I guess that's the feeling, like, oh god, like we've lost. So now
Yeah, I was there that day watching him play, and just say I did a job on myself was a bit of an understatement. But I don't know how he's lost.
She's
Oh,
talking about
Well,
NRL 9.
Oh, the NRL
Yeah,
ones.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that was horrible
Oh,
too.
look, yeah, that was. I don't use with that. You look like you were cruising that day, and I just thought they only got to turn up and they'll win this.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
they were
looked like
definitely cruising.
that one. It looked like they like you because you cranked everyone else that whole tournament, and then it was like a bit of fatigue or something set in that last one.
Yeah.
It was a long day. Like,
Yeah.
We'll get. I was going to say we'll jump into some of these questions because I was just remember
some on Insta too.
Yeah, Nate Gladden. He goes when we said we had you on. He goes, "That's awesome." He runs a rugby league in America podcast.
Do you know, have you ever listened to that, Julia? He's a big fan. Nate, good dude.
Yeah, he's
he might tee you up to try and do an interview because he was trying to get women's rugby league off the ground in the US. So, Nate, if you're listening, which you will be, Julia said it'd be all good if you want to interview us some stage. So reach out. I've got another interview for you.
Yeah, he just said that's awesome having you on. Massive fan of hers. Question: what is it like for her to know? And he's military as well. He goes, what is it like for her to know she reps her country in the military and for the Jillaroos?
Oh, it's a great honour, I guess. Like, definitely in the army. Them allowing me to play like professional footy, like I guess like having that opportunity, I'm very grateful for. And then with the Jillaroos, like it's one of those teams that's like everyone wants to make, and like me being able to like make that team in the first year, just forever like honoured and grateful. So
yeah,
I guess it comes back to honour. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
That's a go.
Well said.
All right, and then we've got the rugby league, in my opinion, and this is just a general one, but I think you put this on a bunch of them. So is it the same one?
Yeah, read down.
And he goes, do you guys believe that the traditional centre role is dying and that it's becoming more of a transitional position? What I mean by that is many centres in our game today will only play there until they crack at another position, with the most recent example being Latrell Mitchell, the fullback. If we take a look at the 7 athletes who played in the centres throughout Origin 2019, only 3 of them were playing in the centres for their club, with the other 4 making a temporary move to positions specifically for Origin. Many of our current centres can play in other positions too and may move there eventually. For example, Joseph Manu can play at fullback. So back to my original question: is the traditional centre position dying out?
No,
I think
no. In my opinion,
I think it is to a certain extent, but it shouldn't be. Like, you're still going to have your traditional centres, like blokes like Jared Croker, who's a career centre, and there's going to be young blokes coming through that are going to make that centre role their own. And blokes, obviously everyone has like positions they like, and a good example is Latrell. He obviously likes to play fullback, but doesn't have the work ethic for it. He doesn't like. He's definitely a great centre. We've seen it time and time again. But for him,
What do you reckon,
his
Julia,
position's
about
a
him
centre.
going to fullback?
Well, obviously, like me just being new to the game, just seeing like being on the wing, like centre definitely has a very important role in defence. Like especially in defence, you have to be a strong defender to be a centre. And then I just like look back at the girls like who've won the Golden Boots, like Isabel Kelly, she's a centre. Jessica Sturgis won pretty much all the awards last year. She's a centre, so obviously they are having a big impact in the game. Obviously they're just professional, like great athletes themselves. But I feel like centre, you can go into the wing, you can go to fullback. I guess I don't know.
It is a spot where you like the type of player that plays centre has a lot of translatable skills to other positions. So a centre, there's a lot of those skills are translatable to the wing and even to like 5'8". Most of them have good ball,
Back row.
good ball skills, back row,
A big
fullback
burly
even.
centre, as he gets older, might get pushed in if he's lost a couple of yards pace. Things like that, especially those Polynesian boys.
Yeah. I think a traditional centre is priceless, eh? I think they're so good.
Well, look at the blokes that got named best centre. Guys like Hodges, Jamie Lyon, things like that. Inglis, when he was actually only a centre, he's your strike weapon because you're setting up and you're dragging them in to get the back row involved so you can hit on that side.
Yeah.
And you look at it, and you look at when you're defending like two or three man, if you've got a box in to make the tackle, half always reads that and he hits back to where you should have been. So they're always looking to get you involved. And to read those block shapes and that from scrums and that, if you bite in, you turn your hips out when you shouldn't. You're getting done on the dummy. You turn in, like you've showed your outside shoulder. They'll get you on that. Things like that. Some
players like Inglis, he's probably his own ability was just too much to hold him in the centres. Like he's just too good. He's a once in a generation sort of player.
They're looking for more ways to get him the footy.
You need to get him in the game, and if it means putting him at fullback or 5'8" or wherever the fuck, play him in the front row at hooker, it doesn't matter. Just get him the ball. So that was the reason someone like him was doing that transitional. Obviously, is a traditional centre, but transition to other position just because he was that good. You just can't not get him the ball.
And with some of those blokes he's talked about, sometimes that's the only position in the side that they have a spot in. Like, so you've got to find a position for this guy who's that good, or play him in the centres because we think he can handle it. You know, and that's how a lot of fullbacks end up there. If young fullback coming through at the Roosters, they're not moving Tedesco, are they? They're either going to move. You know, if they're either going to move a winger or a centre. You know what I mean? If there's an injury, and look for someone to fill that.
It's just so weird for it's like players, they find fullback such a sexy position for some reason.
So much running.
You get the ball more, fullbacks pushing up the middle, and everyone sees Tedesco and all those great fullbacks in the game. And you look back when Hayne started in 2009 and things like that, you're always seeing these highlights of fullbacks lighting it up, you know, and at big levels. Like there's this video of Cameron Munster when he was 18 playing for Central Queensland.
Yeah.
And he takes this intercept 10 from the try line, steps 4 blokes and scores under the post playing fullback. Things like that. It's a glamour position playing fullback. Everyone wants to be there, but not everybody can.
And no one sees the amount of work that goes into it. But like someone like Latrell, obviously, for me, he sees the position as a glamour position. But he looks at someone like Tedesco, who's just won the Dally Yam, who's probably the best player in the world at the moment. But I don't think Latrell looks deep enough into it to see everything Tedesco does off the ball. Yeah. And the way that no matter what happens in a Roosters game, if they're making a half break, someone's sticking their head through it, Tedesco's going to be there every time, backing up, supporting. He's always outside shoulder, inside shoulder, talking to defence. He's just the work off the ball he does is more than Latrell gets through in a whole game.
Remember when Slater won that like Rexona fittest athlete?
Yeah, Australia's greatest athlete.
Do you remember that, Julia? It was, you're probably 5, but it was they did like Australia's fittest athlete
down the coast.
It was like rugby league boys, AFL boys, rowers, like all. And I think Slater won it. Yeah,
he did.
Wow.
Yeah, but for that, Tedesco would go in that competition and win it as well.
Yeah.
It's like people like that with that.
Bench press.
Yeah.
And you had a specific sport exercise that was like your sport.
Yeah.
So if someone beat you in that, they got extra points because they were beating you at something you trained for.
Yeah, but it's like guys would work their ass off like your Slater, would go into that kind of stuff and win it. Latrell would go into that and fucking lose it.
Oh, I'd lose by a mile. A country
Yeah.
mile.
But things you don't see, like they had a 40-metre sprint on sand, and James O'Connor beat Slater.
Yeah.
I would have never seen that coming. I didn't realise O'Connor was that fast.
But then
Slater's
Slater like
takeoff
wins
big.
the rock climbing
Yeah.
event or something.
Yeah, things like that. But
Dad, do you remember how long ago was this? It must have been like a few years ago.
yeah, they had it for a couple of years.
It was on a TV show or
Yeah,
something?
yeah.
Yeah, it was like,
big.
I think they did it on Fox, didn't they?
No, it was a TV show. Rexona,
Oh, okay.
Australia's greatest athlete,
Yeah.
and there was Andrew Simons was in it once
Yeah.
too. Yeah,
Jesus.
Lottie
How's Andrew
Takiri,
Simons go?
Lottie Takiri, Dell was in it.
Yeah.
Things like that, like the first year, like 2 different years. Slater won it the
Dell.
second year.
Jesus, yeah, that's a stretch, eh?
And one thing was the bench.
Yeah.
Bench was one thing.
They would have creamed that.
So we did this question last week, Julia. Who's your best coach that you've had, and who's your worst coach? We
Oh,
did it.
gee.
We did it with Corey Maitland that we had on last
Yeah.
week.
God.
Yeah, Corey.
Yeah.
Corey
And
brushed
he
the
he brushed the worst coach
Yeah.
question very
Yeah, that's true.
easy.
Yeah, wow. Well, I've had like such good coaches, but probably I don't know. Oh God, this is hard.
Yeah,
You don't,
don't-
don't have to say
to
worst
answer
coach, mate.
Yeah, I'd be very careful
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah. I might leave that one.
On the spot of it.
But it sounds like you've had a shitload of good coaches
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
So
Ah,
yeah.
coaching's so important, eh? Especially when you get a good coach. And if you're lucky enough to get a couple of them, and it's invaluable, especially to a team environment. You get a good coach,
And
good team.
going from one coach to the other who, I don't know, I don't want to name names, but some blokes are more technical and some blokes are real numb it down to like 1957 style football. So you've got to get used to playing that sort of football under them, where some blokes are big on offloads and wanting to attack. Others are more grind them out, like kick early, will be fitter, will be stronger, not trying to run around big sides. And you got to work out the style that suits the players. If you go in with we're going to play fast and you don't have that much speed, you're a bigger side. You got to like play with a lot of tip-ons in the forwards, hit edges too, like have your centers playing like back rowers, things like that. Early kicks, things like that. Punch, every kick's got to end up in a corner to force them out, so they're burning that first tackle up and things like that.
Oh,
You heard it from the coach himself.
that's
Yeah,
right.
it
He's
is.
a level 2 coach, Julia, right there.
Level
Are you
two.
the 2 or 3?
Not 3 yet. You got to be in a cup system, so hopefully that comes one day.
Okay.
Even like Colts, something like that. I'm international coach with Uruguay.
Yeah.
I'm the head of football in the Uruguayan Rugby League too, so that kept the job there. So that's good.
Throw out your
Hopefully we
resume,
get to
right,
play
man.
a
Love
game.
it. Yeah.
Hopefully get to play a game soon.
Where are the other questions that I can find?
There was a couple.
Okay.
Oh, these will all be rubbish.
So Mitch
Oh,
Paisley, Mitch Paisley says,
I had
how is Julia in the studio?
Oh,
Studio when she has a restraining order against Dane.
that's good.
Oh, what a
I was
clown,
concerned.
That
about-
is classic.
That's
I was like, I'm not
that's
posting
actually
questions
funny,
this week
Finn.
because everyone's going to fucking roast
Julia,
me.
when you meet this bloke, he is not funny. And that's the funniest thing he's ever said. And he's just got Dane. That's unreal. Good work, Mitchell. You can come. This guy come on and he gets the most. We get the most listens ever. I don't know why.
Because he's big, lanky, and looks funny, I think. Everyone's like, look at that funny looking dude.
Lucas Sandick goes best Origin jersey for both states, best Broncos jersey.
Oh wow.
What does he mean?
Jesus.
Oh, which one did you like the
jersey?
most?
Oh.
I like the 2006 Queensland jersey. We still had the collar.
Yeah.
That was
That's my
fucking
favourite.
sweet. They were so
Oh,
tight.
they've always got.
And they were tight.
in that right, see that right pitch. Oh yeah, where Lockyer, right there where he's bleeding.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, you have Sivan Asiva come out and he's just busting out of his. He's just ready to go. Steve
Yeah.
Price comes.
I always like a collar. I
Yeah.
love the collar, man.
Yeah, it's
what do you
sweet.
prefer?
Well, haven't really experienced the collars.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, they haven't had
Yeah,
collars
no.
for a while. Yeah.
They got rid of him, like, 2012, I think. Collar. Oh, probably even earlier than that.
when they made them,
How
those
weird.
stretchy. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Collars are just like you could play and then go into a party afterwards. Just walk off the field and
yeah, go
you get straight into a club
at
in the valley.
Mitchie, you can do that anyway. It's hard not to get served at our club.
It's also
very
hard
rare.
not to get pissed. You try and
Yeah.
go home and have an early night after
They
a
ain't
game.
keen
'cause
on
you're
you
sore.
leaving.
And then you get
It's
fucking
easier to
sore.
get out of a cult than it is to leave West Mitchie on a Saturday night after a game.
It
I'm
is.
Yeah,
telling you.
Jackie Walsh says, "Who wins an adventure competition, Julia or
Yeah,
Dane?"
I got $10 on Julia for sure.
Julia's paying 110.
Yeah, I'll have 50 on that.
The boy from the territory throwing chat. Good work today.
Did
Have
you?
you
Ha-
seen Walshy lately? He's rigged. I went over to his place to work out with him the other day.
yeah.
Just putting me to bed and everything else. Like,
Is he
fuck,
really?
when did you get so strong? Fuck yeah. He's got like this bootleg gym set up at home with his wheelie bins as a squat rack and shit.
Yeah, I've seen his gag. Someone stole it when he
Yeah,
had
Charlie did,
Yeah,
He's-
that's really bad.
Really
bad,
really
yeah.
bad.
So, what other any on Insta, Dano?
It's just that rugby league, in my opinion.
Yeah,
yeah,
we
that
just
one
hit
up
that.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, we
nice.
might do is we might go over, set Julia up for a bicep curl challenge.
Wow, what is it like? I was
Well,
speaking,
just seeing as because
I
we
was-
haven't done it yet, so
I was
she's got to
seeing,
set
I
the.
was speaking to a bloke today, and on the phone, and he big noted himself how he reckons he did it 40 times.
40.
40, what did he do 40 times?
The curl challenge.
The 20-kilo bar.
Yeah. But this guy's also pasty and a big noter.
Yeah.
A real painful man.
Well, the thing is,
Oh.
do you know Spearsy in the
Josh, big
do,
Josh.
Do you know Josh Spears? Do you know any of the BRL boys? So Josh Spears, I think Reese said he did
Yeah.
it 200 times.
Yeah,
or
sound,
something.
something phenomenal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he ended over 200.
Yeah.
Fuck me down. I like to pick it up once. Fuck
Yeah.
hell.
All right. Well, because we're gonna put that camera on you over there, Julia, because and so you keep chatting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries.
Keep
Good
telling
question.
us about level 2 coaching,
Oh,
and then we'll
no
get.
I got
worries.
a question
No.
for you, right? Origin, after the season, how's it going to affect each team? Or not having to lose your Origin players for that period, each team could possibly gain an extra win or two during the season. And what about the players who are going to have a big gap between games? Say you Joe Arrow for the Titans, and you don't make the 8,
And then you got 6
and then you
weeks
got
till
6
play.
weeks until you play again. How's
That,
that?
yeah, that's a hard one. How some blokes will adapt. Blokes will say, "Oh, these blokes are professionals," but nothing beats match fitness. And you're going
Exactly.
into this first game more so than the other two because you'll have got your timing back after that first one.
Yeah.
Probably the first half of the first game.
Yeah.
Like if you're a back row or fronty, if you're coming on for a stint in the middle, I should say, you're probably going to be a little bit rusty.
Yeah.
Your first stint, I would
Yeah.
imagine in this. I
And
like
then-
the fact that they're doing it after season though. I reckon it's good.
And then you look at the flip side of the coin. Someone like a Boyd Cordner potentially will play a full season plus finals, and then expected to come back 10 days later and captain his state.
I'll be surprised if they weren't Final Four. All right, here we are. Here we are. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
3 to tee
Wrap
up,
'em out.
Julia. With the 20-kilo challenge. Yeah, nice. Good pull.
2.
Starting strong,
3.
too. Nice.
4.
Don't even look focused. Just throwing it around like it's
nice.
nothing. It's like a paperweight. Who's counting? Someone counting?
8.
Yeah,
Alright.
Freddie's on
9.
that. That's why you work at a school,
10.
boss.
11.
Get it.
12. 13. 14.
Oh, she beats Vorhi. I'm gonna laugh.
15.
Come on, brother.
16.
Please.
17. You're going well.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah,
Bill.
get a good
20.
pump
There's
going,
20
mate.
there.
Dano goes next, eh?
Oh, fuck.
24.
That's
27 there.
Good dig. Good dig. You got one
Get it.
left.
Yeah.
There's 30.
No quitting, eh? 31.
Oh, good commitment. Yeah. Nice.
Well done.
32
32
there.
rats. Impressive.
Nice. Well done.
Really well done. Impressive.
Very,
Love it.
very impressive.
How many do you reckon you could do, Freeman? I reckon she'd have you.
Yeah, she probably would, man. That was way better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that after that. Give it a shave.
Dano was saying he'd be up for the challenge.
Oh, I drank 100 beers yesterday. I don't even think I could lift today.
It's hot in here, though, eh?
Yeah.
Well, so, Julia, just what's your thoughts with these blokes breaking isolation in the NRL, like putting everything at risk for everybody, and for I won't say shit reasons, but like Nathan Cleary, he gave a story, then it turned out it was bullshit. So to me, that makes him as bad as the other boys, because like,
Yeah, I guess it's like obviously like Mitch and Josh obviously got the big 50 grand whammy, and then
yeah, the Fox driving 2 and a bit hours to Taree from Sydney was a bit ridiculous.
yeah, but I guess it's just like, do they keep it like fair? Like obviously they're all like kind of breaching the I guess the rules.
Yeah, you've got to be tarred with the same brush
Yeah.
with this. Yeah, yeah. I'd hate to be the next bloke who breaches this, because they've got to. If the season starts and you breach it, you've got to get the arse for the.
Yeah.
Do you think they should have missed more games?
I think so too, because you got to make an example of this, and the way the boys spoke, it was kind of like there was such a. It sounded a bit arrogant, and
I didn't
Josh,
see that.
Josh had okay.
Josh, yeah, I watched the.
And it was a bit arrogant,
interview.
wasn't it?
Well, they apologised and they meant to, but it didn't seem like it was serious. It's like
No.
make an apology because you have to. It's not like you're apologising to the team for fucking something up. But Addo had been warned twice for driving around Sydney, breaking isolation.
Oh, yeah.
So the Storm, like, I know with Dave Donaghy and that down there, and Frank Panisi and Craig Bellamy, he got torn a new arsehole, and rightly so. Bellamy's barred
Social media.
Yeah, social media at their camp there, where they're going to training on Tuesday. Like, Freddie's struggling to focus on Dane's shirtless body.
Yeah, but yeah, and then so how did he say it though? Like,
They come on and like Latrell said, shouldn't have done it. Sorry about that, people.
Yeah.
But my brother contacted me and he had some family members in a bad way.
Yeah,
I think
And
that
they
was
need to get
Josh,
away.
yeah.
Yeah. And then he sort of said the same. They sort of said the same thing, but it was like your manager got in the front foot and said apologise quickly.
yeah,
With Cleary, he'd bullshitted the club and said these chicks were friends of his sisters, which was probably true. And he said, yeah, they're only just called they're just waiting for an Uber. They didn't stay long. They just stopped in for a bit. And then they had him doing TikTok videos with them.
with the chicks.
Yeah, after he'd lied.
To be fair,
Saying they didn't know he was getting recorded.
if you're a 19-year-old girl and your best friend's brother was Nathan Cleary, I'd be over there every day as well. He's a hunk, dead set hunk.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm just gonna go over to her house again.
Yeah, but you're in a spot now, and I don't agree with Phil Rothfield often, but he
Yeah.
put it on Cleary.
Yeah.
Said, what are you going to do? The kid should at least be dropped from the leadership group there. Because it's like,
Julie,
you're
you on
setting an
TikTok?
example.
No, I'm not. I am terrible at TikTok.
Yeah,
I attempted doing a TikTok video with the Jillaroo girls.
yeah.
And it was like a dance one. Like, I'm not the most uncoordinated coordinated person you'll ever meet. Like,
I have it, and I definitely have
I'm
never posted a
expecting you.
video because
I'm-
it's
I
fucking,
just
I
like
just
watching
watch them.
you.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm expecting you, and I was waiting for one last
Yeah,
night.
Uzi when he comes over last night, he goes, "Oh, we'll make a TikTok." I was like, "Fuck no, we won't, bro.
He got no
I'm half
shame.
cut already. I'll end up fucking embarrassing myself. Or I'll try and do a dance move and break my leg somehow or something." Shit.
Actually, I'm not too sure if you watched the video of me and Steve on my Instagram, and I went to try and jump on his back.
Oh yeah,
That was
Yeah,
me,
I
that
think
was us
so.
attempting
Yeah.
a TikTok video.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
yeah.
it's like when they do the levels.
Yeah.
Stage it up.
Yeah.
I don't
That
know how
was-
anyone does that. Fuck, I'd fall off.
Never again.
Yeah.
So next time we do this, we're going on the beach with sand.
Yeah, somewhere soft so if we fall, we'll break
Freddie's
it.
a bit of a how would you put it, like a big TikToker, big TikTok phenomenon.
I did one.
Yeah, and how many
Yeah.
likes did it
It's
get?
world
It
famous.
got like 20,000, but it was with one of my friends, Ali, AJ Humps, is she's like a gymnast,
Yeah.
and she did like a thing at the start, and then she like danced into it, and then at the end it was me
Okay.
in her clothing. Yeah, so her like she like you know how you edit and you spin her, it's
Yep.
like she spun and then the whole editing thing happened and then it was me wearing her tights
Oh,
and
okay, yeah.
twerking. Yeah, but
Good peaches on your
Yeah.
butt. It was nice.
Yeah.
It was refreshing.
that's
Sort of
what
made
I'm
my
known
day
for, mate.
that Wednesday Arvo, you know. It's just like,
The
oh.
squats.
Show that to your missus, and there'll be no problem in getting this next
Yeah.
kid bun in the oven. I'll tell you what.
The problem's not with her, it's with me.
I know. That's like, tell her to think of someone else. You know, Eichner. I think of Eichner, your mate.
Think of Dave.
Yeah,
Think of
yeah,
Dave.
Dano, have a go at this rig. Holy, no wonder you are like Northside Brisbane's most eligible bachelor till you met this secret lady love.
Fuck.
Well, my God, no wonder. No wonder you don't want to tell us about your missus. You don't want to break too many hearts out there, eh? Too many girls upset.
You're an idiot.
Classic.
That's an idiot.
But we'll fucking start the sign off, yeah?
Yeah, we best. It's been great.
Yeah, Julia, thanks heaps for coming on.
Thanks, heap.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a show from West Mitchie when everything's open, so I'll invite you along. I'm trying to help the Ferny Grove Tavern because it is fucking horrible. Shit, terrible place. It's dead. Like, if we went to a funeral home, it'd be a shandy better than going to the Ferny Grove Tavern some nights. So I'm going to offer our services to do an episode of the show at the Ferny
I
Grove
just farted
Tavern.
as I laughed. Hey.
You're gross.
And-
Yeah, no, it sounds good.
and we'll invite our friends. That way they'll at least make some money. And the place, it'll look like a decent establishment.
Yeah.
That's the spirit. All right, we're wrapping this up.
Yeah, wrap it up.
Take us out.
Julie, you see yourself playing this year at all? You reckon it gets?
I reckon we'll be playing this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got
And then
good
for
vibe with
Good
the
vibe,
way
yeah.
things are going in the
Yeah.
community. If people don't fuck this up,
Yeah.
I reckon we'll be back on the footy field within the next couple of months.
and then for you, just going to hold on to those positions until your early 30s and.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah,
That's a go.
definitely.
Yeah, nice.
As long as possible.
Yeah, sweet.
Righto.
Well, appreciate you coming on. Righty, take us out.
Everybody take care. The light's at the end of the tunnel as long as we don't fuck this up. Don't be like these tossers that going to Burley.
Wait, what about Thingo's Corner? Column? Or
Oh,
what's his name?
Colin,
Clarky.
if you want to, okay, if you can't, you got insomnia, you can't sleep, get on, and you like rugby league, get on and read a little do called Clarky's Column. It would put a fucking glass eye to sleep, this boring motherfucker, okay? Never played the game. It's painfully obvious. Limited credibility. Very limited. Donald Trump style limited credibility. So, shout out to to Ty and Kim Ingebrigtsen at Talking Footy. They got a good little side gig going there. Get some fantastic guests. They did an episode tonight with Big Nadulu, who used to play on the wing for the Crusaders. So they got plenty of good people in. If you listen to us, go look those boys up at TI and KI Talk Footy on Facebook. Let's all behave. Keep looking after ourselves. Things are on the mend. Thanks heaps to Julia. She's been like the greatest guest we've ever had. Up there with Corey Maitland as
And
Oh,
my
32
favourite
curls.
international.
32 girls to start us off. That was
32
good.
curls. Thanks for Dano for half-tip roving. It's been a real pleasure for Freedy to look at your rig. And we'll be back next week. The guest might not be as good as this one, but it will be pretty good. Take care and don't be a mercenary.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.